Protesters stormed Yerevan streets on Thursday evening demanding the resignation of Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan. Participants of the rally organized by the opposition pitched tents on Marshal Baghramyan Avenue in Yerevan and stayed there at night. The situation has become tense after the Armenian Army Joint Staff issued a statement noting that the army demands the resignation of Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and his government. The statement was signed by the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, his deputies, heads of departments, and commanders of all corps. The Armenian army has expressed its resolute protest over the dismissal of Tiran Khachatryan, the first deputy chief of the Armenian Armed Forces General Staff. At the suggestion of the Prime Minister, President Armen Sarkissian had dismissed Khachatryan, who had reportedly mocked the Prime Minister's words about the alleged flaw of the Russia-made Iskander missile systems. After this statement, Nikol Pashinyan made a Facebook post noting that he had signed the necessary documents to dismiss Armen Sarkissian, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. The Prime Minister also urged the supporters to hold protests. Furthermore, he marched through the central streets of the capital and surrounded by police officers. The Armenian President's office has issued a statement and noted that it had received a proposal from the Prime Minister of Armenia to dismiss Armen Sarkissian from the post of Chief of the General Staff of the Armenian Armed Forces. According to the Constitution, the President has 3 days to make a decision on the matter. Due to the need to ensure the normal functioning of state bodies, the President has so far had no fundamental objections to the appointment or dismissal of officials. The presidential administration also reports that in current situation, no one should try to involve the President in the political process, and any attempts to put pressure on the President are unacceptable. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan held phone talks and discussed the situation in Armenia, Russian presidential spokesperson Dmitry Peskov noted. The telephone conversation took place at the initiative of the Armenian side. However, there is a clear discrepancy in the press releases following the leaders' phone talks posted on the websites of the two leaders. The Armenian Prime Minister's statement noted that Putin expressed support for the legitimate authorities of Armenia and expressed hope for the soonest normalization of the situation, but this is not indicated in the statement of the Russian side. Thus, this is another publicity stunt on the part of the Armenian authorities. The world is reflecting on the latest developments in Armenia. NATO called on Armenia to resolve political differences in a peaceful and democratic way. It's important to avoid words or actions that could lead to further escalation, NATO spokesperson Oana Lungescu tweeted. The EU in turn noted that it was following the developments in Armenia very closely. Political differences must be resolved peacefully and in strict accordance with the principles and processes of parliamentary democracy, the representative of the EU Foreign Policy Service, Peter Stanos, said. The UN has expressed concern over the events in Armenia and called on the parties to restrain. According to Stefan Dujarric, official representative of this organization's Secretary General, it is very important that all parties remain calm. Meanwhile, Iran has called on all parties in Armenia to exercise restraint and avoid violence.